Hello everybody and welcome to tonight's game here at Cienega High School featuring the Poston Butte Broncos against the Cienega Bobcats. I'm Alec White, joined by my partner Jason Miller and Hannah Simons. Jason, give us some more info on tonight's game.
Well, I'm going to talk to you about Poston Butte, Alec, and what they like to do is run the football. They have a sophomore running back, number 28, Brandon Hatfield, 1,300 yards on the year, averaging 7 yards a carry. He's got 13 touchdowns. Number 25, Alfonso Batiste, is a senior, and he's averaging 6.7 yards a carry. So they're kind of like the bread and butter dual threat running back tandem that they have, and they have a massive offensive line. Number 71, Emilio Garcia, 6'1", 292. Number 77, Juan La Prada is 6'2", 318 pounds. You didn't mishear me. And number 78, Woodard Gerard, 6'2", 294. That's a lot of beef on that offensive line, and they love to run the football. Hannah, what can we look for with the Cats tonight?
All right, well, with the Cats, they want to keep up their momentum from their previous game against Saguaro. They want to balance out their run and pass plays on offense. And we got some big players here tonight. Number 5, Francisco Dicochea, with putting up some whopping numbers from last week. Last week's game, he got 243 yards, 3 touchdowns. Quarterback number 12, Adriel Alvarado, throwing efficient passes and managing the offense. Hopefully the Bobcat defense tonight can create turnovers and stop Poston Butte from running the football, as Miller has said.
Thanks, Hannah. Thanks, Jason. Poston Butte enters tonight's game 7-3, losing 2 in a row. Their last one was a loss against Westwood, 32-15. They struggled to run the football, and as we said earlier, they love to run the football. So if Cienega can stop the run, Poston Butte will have a difficult time winning tonight. Cienega enters this game 9-1 on a 9-game winning streak. Their lone loss coming at the beginning of the season, a 17-7 loss at Ironwood, but they have been hot their last 9 games. Adriel Alvarado is the quarterback for the Bobcats, and he is an unquestioned leader on this team. He may not put up gaudy numbers like Peyton Manning or Tom Brady every night, but he is a leader on this team, and he's done an excellent job leading the Cienega team to the first round of the playoffs. Cienega has the number 4 seed, and Poston Butte the 13 seed. And we're just a moments away from kickoff, so we'll see how this game plays out tonight.
I think that's a great comparison you make, Alec. You mentioned Tom Brady, and I actually kind of liken Adriel with Brady. He may not have the gaudy statistics and the stats that you were talking about, but in terms of leadership and efficiency running that offense, I think he's very effective, and he's shown in 3 years here as a quarterback how much he's developed and grown and matured as a signal caller and also as a leader on that team.
Yeah, he has a 113 quarterback rating, 15 touchdowns with no picks. So that just shows you what type of player he is. Kickoff return, strong run by Poston Butte. He takes it across the 40-yard line. Poston Butte will set up their first drive at the 41-yard line.
All right, and again, we talked about it, how much they love to run that football. Massive offensive line, just extreme weight and girth and strength and size, and they love to run that football. Their quarterback is number 3, Russell Corriveau. He's a senior. He's pretty efficient running the ball as well. He's averaging, well, he's got 2 touchdowns on the year running the football, but he's not going to throw it too much. No,
they're going to hand it off to their 28, Brandon Hatfield. First play, goes up the middle. Stop. Gain about 1 yard on the play. Hatfield has been putting up some great numbers for the Broncos this year. In the 9 games he's played, he's had 195 carries, just under 1,400 yards, an unreal 7.1 yards per carry, and 13 touchdowns. So he is the workhorse of this team, and the Broncos will rely on him heavily here tonight. The second down play, again, goes to Hatfield. He's going to make the first man miss, and he's going to get up across the 45-yard line to about the 46. It'll be 3rd down and short.
Yeah, it's interesting. We don't have a rostered player on their team with number 11, but he got the carry there. And you can see they run that tight formation. This isn't an offense that you're going to be seeing 4 wideouts or a wide open, kind of like a spread system. They just have 1 wideout flanked up near side to us. They have a guy in the slot, Josh Alexander, a fullback and a tailback.
So 3rd down play.
It jumped. It was a movement.
Start.
Yeah, it was movement on the right tackle.
That'll push the Broncos back to the 39-yard line, or 41-yard line, excuse me. So it'll be 3rd down and long for the Broncos. When Poston Butte really is going to struggle tonight if they're put in these 3rd down and long situations. Corvu, their quarterback, is not used to dealing with these lengthy 3rd downs. They're used to having 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3 to give it to Hatfield. So it'll be interesting to see how this one plays out.
Quick play action. I don't know if he really sold it there, but you see these wheels buying a little bit of time, and that's picked by Deco.
Deco Che is going to take it back to the 45-yard line. He makes the first man miss, breaks another tackle, and he is down at the 47-yard line. So good recognition there by Deco Che. Read the quarterback's eyes, and a hot start for the Cienega defense. Going to set him up with great field position in opponent territory.
Oh, you talked about it. That's something that Poston Butte wants to avoid, a 3rd and long situation. I mean, it was only 3rd and 8 yards to go. Corvo bought some time there. Derek Summers has been terrific. Last week, he was the difference maker for me on that defensive line. And then there's Deco with another pick. He had one last week as well.
So Alvarado and the Bobcat offense are going to set up at the 46-yard line. Alvarado in the pistol offense is going to hand it off to Terrence Johnson, the wide receiver. Terrence is going to go around the sideline, and he is taken out just across the 40-yard line. So pickup of 6 there on the play.
And you may have missed it on the far side. Deco had a pancake block out in the flat there, kind of springing Terrence for a little bit of extra yardage. Tackled by Zachary Smith, the senior cornerback.
Yeah, good block there by Deco Che to seal the edge. And we're going to have 2nd down and 6 here for the Bobcats. Little miscommunication on the offensive side for Cienega. Alvarado is going to line up under center with Deco Che in the backfield. There's a little break in the action. Timeout on the field by Cienega. So definitely some confusion there at the beginning of the play. One of the coaches was screaming out on the sideline, motioning Terrence to come onto the sideline, but they weren't able to set up the play, and so they called a timeout there.
Yeah, too many guys on the field, miscommunication, kind of out of sorts. So a timeout here by Cienega to kind of calm everybody down, make sure everybody's on the same page. I mean, look, Poston Butte, they didn't travel very well. If you look across the field, even though they have a banner that says Bronco Nation, I think the Denver Broncos can certainly make that claim that they have a Bronco Nation fan base that's all over the country.
Certainly.
But maybe we're looking at maybe 200 fans across the way. Somebody to watch out for tonight would be Mason Craig, number 80. He had a huge pass play last week, and he's a good receiving tight end who can get down the field. Reminds me of kind of like a Jason Witten kind of a player who can go vertical, or Rob Gronkowski, who's a terrific receiving tight end. So that might be a player to watch out for tonight. I think Cienega probably feels like they can throw the football, but they always love to run the ball as well.
2nd down and 6 here for the Bobcats. Tristan Jury in motion for Cienega. Alvarado is going to look to the right side. He finds Johnson on a bubble screen. Johnson makes a man miss, and he's up across the 30-yard line, upended at the 27-yard line. So good play right there. Terrence Johnson went out on the screen pass. He had blockers in front of him, and great blocks by Cienega and great recognition by Johnson to find the hole and pick up a 1st down for the Bobcats.
Yeah, and the quickness was apparent too. Terrence looks faster than the players that are out there in white jerseys for Poston Butte. Slade Miller on the tackle.
1st down here. They're going to hand it to the left side to Deco Che. He's only going to get a couple yards here down to the 26-yard line. But this game's going to be won in the trenches tonight. Poston Butte loves to run the football. They've got a big offensive line, big defensive line, and same goes for Cienega. They got a hungry, smaller offensive line, but definitely more mobile, more versatile, and they can really push you around. And Deco Che was unable to find room there, but this game is going to be, keep an eye on the trenches tonight. Alvarado on 2nd down. He's going to air it out to the end zone, and is incomplete, intended for Terrence Johnson, just over his head. Just out of his reach. So
yeah, it was a deep post pattern. It looked like Trenton Tinsley, the senior, number 27, was there in coverage, but Terrence had a little bit of separation. Adriel had all the time in the world to throw the football. You talk about the size. Their defensive line, 64, Cole McCormick, 6'1", 205. 68, Ben Crossley, a senior defensive tackle, 6'0", 285. They've got some major size in their defensive front as well.
3rd down and 10 for Cienega. Alvarado in the shotgun. He's looking to the right on a screen, just over the head and off the hands of Will Walker, the fullback. So it's going to be 4th down, and that's going to force a likely field goal from Jacob Meeker Hackett, who has been money this season. Meeker Hackett's made 8 of 11 field goals and an insane 51-yard long yard field goal. That's NFL stuff right there.
Yeah, he looked great in pre-games too. He was booting them from about 40 yards. We're looking here at one that's about, I would say, maybe a 43-yard field goal.
Cienega rushing players onto the field. Nico Abeyta, the holder. The kick is up.
Just short.
And it is no good, just short.
Everything seemed a little bit off on that. The special teams, there were a couple players running onto the field at the last moment. The snap seemed to be a little bit low, and Nico Abeyta does a great job as the holder, but it just maybe the rhythm was a little bit off there for Jacob, who's been terrific kicking field goals.
Yeah, that's only his 4th miss of the season. A little bit of confusion there from Cienega, again, rushing players on and off the field when they were trying to get set up, so that little bit of confusion probably caused the miscue right there.
Just feels like a weird vibe. I mean, I'm looking at the home grandstand here, and it's pretty packed. There's not much fan support from Poston Butte on the other side of the field as Poston Butte calls a timeout, but there's not a lot of energy here in this stadium. And I don't know if it's because it's the weather. It's slightly cooler than what we've been used to. It just doesn't feel like a playoff game.
No, this is the first round of the Division II game, and last week's game against Saguaro was jam-packed,
Yes.
and it wasn't even, a playoff game. It was still a high-intensity, meaningful game. But when you get to the playoffs, you need all the help you can get from the fans, and so to see a lack of showing up from the Cienega faithful, it's a little disappointing from the Bobcats. So Poston Butte will try to get some momentum here on this drive. Couldn't really get anything going last drive. They had that interception by Dicochea. So Corvu is going to look to get some momentum here, try to complete some short passes and hand it off to the running back. First down play is going to go to their fullback. Pickup of a couple yards here on the play.
Yeah, Will Walker was right there. So Will's a junior inside linebacker. He's also the fullback, but he's a great run stopper or an inside linebacker, a classic conventional middle linebacker. He's just in there to tackle and put his helmet in there and make tackles.
Second down here for the Poston Butte Broncos. Corvu is going to line up in the shotgun. One running back behind him. 3 wide receivers. He's going to get the ball. He's going to hand it off. And stuffed up front by the Cienega defense. That's only going to be a pickup of 1 yard on the play, so it'll be 3rd down and about 6 upcoming.
And that probably is Brandon Hatfield, Alec. Even though he's wearing number 11, he may have switched jerseys, maybe just to throw the other side off. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It certainly looks like him. 6 feet, 191 pounds. He's not a bulldozer out there, but it certainly looks to be Hatfield out there.
And Poston Butte is running a 4 wide receiver set here.
Rare for them. Corvu is going to go to his right. He's going to throw and is over the head of the intended receiver, 4th down.
Yeah, Josh Alexander was the intended target. And it looks like that Corvo has the arm strength. But again, in terms of accuracy, looking at his stats, looking at his numbers on the season, he's only completing 49% of his passes. That's his 80th pass attempt on the entire season. If you look at Adriel Alvarado, conversely, he has 200 pass attempts. So the Bobcats are very comfortable throwing the football. Of course, they run it as well.
Flag on the field. Looks like it's going to be face mask on Poston Butte on that last play. So that'll push him back a little bit. So 4th down upcoming. Dicochea for the Bobcats back just on his own territory, about 46, 47-yard line of the Bobcats, waiting the punt. Almost blocked. High kick. Dicochea is going to let it roll. He's going to field it on the bounce. And he's immediately tackled by Poston Butte at the 48-yard line.
Hayden Brimhall, a senior special teamer, free safety wide receiver right there on the tackle. And a little bit surprised that Deco would choose to field that one off the bounce, but nevertheless, it's great field position here for the Cats at their own 43-yard line.
Yeah, field position is going to be huge in this game. We've already seen Poston Butte. They had good field position on their opening drive, but not so good field position on their last drive. And Cienega is going to start their second possession in extremely good field position, just shy of midfield. Alvarado's going to line up with 2 backs behind him. He's going to give it to Deco Chea. He's going to make cuts across the 50-yard line and shoved out of bounds. Picks up the first down for the Bobcats down around the 45-yard line.
Yeah, and a boom there, lowering the shoulder, running over Jordan Jones, who will get the tackle officially. And then if you look at Poston Butte, what they like to do is, well, they run a 4-3 defense. So we don't see that very often. Most of the high school teams that we've seen this year run a 3-4, and then they'll have linebackers blitzing. But they've got that girth and that size on the defensive front, 4-3 defense.
Same formation here from the Bobcats. Alvarado's going to look. He's got Terrence, single coverage on the outside, and Terrence almost makes the grab, trying to reach over the defender, unable to haul it in, so it'll be second down.
And Trenton Tinsley, number 27, was back there in coverage. His back was facing the quarterback. He had no idea where the football was. A lot of times you'll see in the NFL, defensive backs will get called for a pass interference because they're not really defending the receiver. They have no idea. They're not playing the football. So, I mean, he was right there, and he just kind of held his ground.
Yeah, there was no contact while the ball was in air, so that's probably why that flag was not thrown on that play. Second down. Jury's going to go in motion for the Bobcats.
Yeah, Mason Craig, he just kind of like shuffled there at the left defensive end, so it'll be a false start against the Cats. Just rocking out of he couldn't hold his stance, and that's a penalty against the Bobcats, 5 yards.
So second down and 15, 7:23 remaining in the first quarter. 0-0 is our score. Alvarado sends Jury in motion again. And they're going to hand it off to Deco Chea. He's going to cut to the left side. He's going to make a man miss, and he's going to cut across. He's tackled down at the 40-yard line. So good pickup there by Deco Chea, a run of about 10 yards. Good blocking up front from Cienega.
Yeah, very manageable third down here, like a 3rd and 4 to go for the Cats. Deco, 1,100 yards on the year, averaging 6.5 yards per carry. He's got the 12 touchdowns, a hat trick last week. As the season has worn on, he has become more and more integral in this offense for the Bobcats.
Jury's going to go in motion again on third down. They're going to hand it off Deco Chea, and he's going to get stopped. Only a pickup of 1 yard, so it'll be 4th down and 4 upcoming.
Cats may want to go for it here where the ball is placed. It's inside the opponent's 40-yard line. Aragon's a great punter, so he may come on here and try to pin either team inside their own 10. But it looks like they're going to go for it here on offense.
We've even seen some pooch kicks by Alvarado this season, so you never know what Cienega may do on this play. They've got Alvarado is very capable of making this 4th down conversion, but he can also do a pooch kick right here, pin Poston Butte down inside their own 20-yard line. But it looks like they're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Could be play action. And maybe a little bit of bluffing there. Now the Cats are going to call a timeout.
Yeah, trying to draw them offsides. Unfortunately for Cienega, that didn't work. So they'll call a timeout. They'll probably send on the punting unit, and Poston Butte will get the ball back. At this time, we'd like to pay a tribute to our sponsors for the night. Nova Financial, Jeff Daniels, State Farm, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Pizza Hut, make it great. And Eris Family Dental, a great place to get your teeth done. So it looks like the Bobcats are going to go for it after all. They're going to send Alvarado back on there for this 4th down and 4. And you never know, you may still see him do a pooch kick, but looks like their Bobcats are going to go for it.
I look for Aragon, the possession receiver here near side, and now Tristan Jury coming in motion toward us as well.
Alvarado's going to look that way. He's got Jury wide open out on the sideline. Jury hauls it in, and it's going to be down at the 1 yard line. Oh, what a throw by Alvarado. He had Jury all the way. Jury came in motion at the beginning of the play and just took off on that right sideline. And what an acrobatic catch by Jury, and just shy of the goal line.
Yeah, great play, 38 yards on the reception. Last week he had a 39-yarder, which was a critical moment for the Cats in their win over Saguaro. They were pinned at their own 2-yard line, ran a play action, and it was Jury running a fly pattern near side. Very similar. This time they had a little bit of wrinkle of motion coming in, and it was Tristan coming near side in motion, and a great pass, like perfectly placed by Adriel.
That's Jury's 4th catch of the season, and now they're going to give it to Deco Chair right up the middle. Touchdown, Bobcats. Good play call there by Cienega. Just punch it up the middle with Deco Chair. That's going to get you, that's going to work almost every single time. Great drive by the Bobcats, and they're going to take a 6-0 lead with 5:55 here in the first quarter. Going back to Tristan Jury, he's the junior wide receiver / slot running back that Cienega likes to use a lot. They use a lot of different players in that slot position. It can be a different guy every night. A lot of the players are really interchangeable, but that's Jury's 5th catch of the year, and he's over 100 yards on the season, averaging 25 yards per catch, and only 1 TD though, but still an explosive player. So Meeker Hackett's extra point is up and good, and Cienega is going to take a 7-0 lead with just 5:54 left in the first quarter.
Yeah, touchdowns brought to you by our touchdown sponsor, Agero. Safe, smart, and driven. To find out more, visit their website at agero.com. And that red zone attack was brought to you by Pyramid Federal Credit Union. Yeah, but Deco, Alec, if you look at his production over the course of the season, in Week 7 at Sunnyside, 2 touchdowns. Week 8 against Nogales at Nogales, 153 yards, 3 touchdowns. Desert View in Week 9, 2 touchdowns. Last week, Saguaro, 3 touchdowns. Here again tonight, another touchdown. He has been shouldering more of the burden as this season has worn on, and he is a workhorse kind of running back that this team loves to just hand the football to as they go into the playoffs.
Yeah, and I think this coaching staff really trusts Deco Chea. They've ridden him all year, and you see it in critical situations. They're not afraid to hand the ball off to Deco Chea. That kickoff from Meeker Hackett, fielded by Poston Butte, is going to be taken to the 5-yard line. Bad return there by Poston Butte.
And I think that Pat Nugent, the offensive coordinator, a great history of success as a coach in Southern Arizona, multiple state titles with CDO, great success at Pima Community College. He's the offensive coordinator here. He is the heir apparent to Nemar Hasty. He loves to run the football, and I think that there's been more of an emphasis and a focused effort in running the ball here this season for the Bobcats.
First down and 10 for the Broncos. They're going to hand it off to their fullback. He is stuffed up front, actually breaks a tackle and gets away from it, and he is pushed out along the sidelines. Pickup of 3 yards on the play. Good play there by the fullback, number 25, Alfonso Batiste, 5'7", 195. So he was able to muscle his way through and get positive yards on that play.
Now, pinned deep in their own end, a team that loves to run the football. You and I talked about it earlier today, that Poston Butte, they will run a little bit of play action. So this may be a kind of an area where they may be able to pop one and get a little bit of positive yardage to get out of their own deep here, out of their own end.
Second down play is going to be a handoff again, up the right side, pushed out of bounds around the 15-yard line. Pickup of 3 yards on the play. So it'll be third down and short upcoming for the Broncos.
Yeah, that was Josh Alexander. He's their 3rd leading rusher in terms of yards. He's got 142 on the ground. He's averaging a whopping 10.1 yards a carry, although he hasn't carried the ball that much. It's only his 15th carry on the season.
Yeah, it still catches you off guard when you're used to seeing the ball driven inside by Hatfield and Batiste. And when Poston Butte hands it off, to Alexander. That's really the element of surprise that they like to use. 3rd down and 5 for Poston Butte. Man in motion. They're going to hand it off, and he is stuffed. Probably lost it on the play. It's going to force a 4th down.
Well, you have to admire Poston Butte for trying to do what they do. They have to stay committed to running the football. At some point, if Cienega can extend this lead and maybe make it a 2-touchdown lead, you wonder how long Poston Butte will be able to remain dedicated to running the ball. And then again, you've got Deco standing right at midfield here, so the Cats are going to have great field position.
Yeah, and last week against Saguaro, Cienega shut down Saguaro's run game, and that was the deciding factor in allowing Cienega to get the victory. High punt from the Poston Butte. Deco Che is going to let it bounce, and it is down at the 44-yard line. So the Bobcats will start their 3rd drive of the night inside Poston Butte territory.
And Alec, I think we can safely say that number 11 is Brandon Hatfield, because he's also their punter. He's averaging 35 yards a punt. He's their leading rusher. So I know coming in we were looking at number 28, but I think Hatfield is number 11.
All right, that makes sense. A little bit of confusion there early on, but Bobcats are going to start their 3rd drive of the night. Alvarado in the shotgun with Will Walker and Deco Che in the backfield. Deco Che is going to get the ball. He's going to stiff arm a guy, get across the 40-yard line, upended at the 38-yard line, pick up a 4 or 5 on the play. And Deco Che has really got that explosiveness, but he's also got some muscle and power to him. He's not just a speed back. He's not a power back. He can do everything for this Bobcat offense. So you see him there on the stiff arm, really driving his legs, pushing forward, and pick up positive yards.
Yeah, capable coming out of the backfield as a receiver, great on defense, just a solid player, a playmaker all the way around.
Johnson's going to go in motion for the Bobcats. Alvarado's going to roll. He's looking across the middle. Oh, almost picked off by Poston Butte. Johnson, the intended receiver on the play.
And Zachary Smith had that one in his hands, and he'll look back at film and say that's one that I should have intercepted for sure.
Yeah, it was tough to see it for Smith going across the field. Probably Johnson was in the way trying to tip the ball, but unfortunately for Smith, he wasn't able to pick off Alvarado on that play.
And surprising, because Adriel trying to force it when going down the field, he had Will Walker in the far flat, who was wide open for positive yardage and potentially a 1st down. So surprising there, the decision making by Adriel.
3rd down and 5 for Cienega. Johnson's going to go in motion to the right side. That's going to put 3 wide receivers on the right side. Alvarado's looking. He's got...
That's Aragon.
Yeah, Matt Aragon across the middle. And he is dropped at the 23-yard line. That's going to be a 1st down for Cienega. Put them just shy of the 20-yard line. Matt Aragon, he's really been the unsung hero of this Bobcat offense. He's not your playmaker, but he's got 24 catches on the year, 297 yards, and a TD on the season. And when Alvarado needs a completion, he knows Aragon's going to be there almost every single time.
Yeah, 39-yard touchdown reception last week. To me, he's a classic possession receiver at 6'2", a nice big target with great hands.
1st down is going to go to Deco Che. He's going to follow his blockers, gets inside the 10-yard line, pushed out of bounds. Good patience there by Deco Che, not trying to hit that hole too early, really following his blocker, Bryce Fontana, the sophomore, and good pickup there on the play by Deco Che.
Yeah, patient runner. Like he's willing to wait for those holes to develop and for his linemen to engage their defenders. And you've seen it here. This is the formula, the blueprint for success that the Bobcats have employed all season. The game is going exactly how they want it to go.
1st down and goal from the 9-yard line. Terrence Johnson's going to go in motion. They're going to do a jet sweep to him, and he's going to cut the edge. And he is upended at the 2-yard line. Strong play there by Johnson. A little bit of trickery from Cienega. And they like to use that slot wide receiver, as we mentioned earlier. They can really use anybody there, and this time it was Johnson receiving the carry.
And Terrence looks really fast. We know he's got good speed, but he looks blazingly fast out here today. That tells me that Poston Butte is slow on defense. I don't think that they have the athleticism to match up here against the Bobcats tonight.
Second down, look for a run up the middle.
Touchdown.
QB sneak there by Alvarado, and he is fired up on the sidelines. Teammates rushing out to greet him.
He's got 5 rushing touchdowns on the year, so he excels just like Tom Brady in short yardage goal situations. Adriel's been terrific this season with a quarterback keeper at the goal line.
And he wears that number 12 just like Tom Brady. A lot of similarities between those two. Cienega's going to do a little trickery here on this extra point attempt. They're going to look to go for 2. He's going to throw, finds Craig in the back of the end zone. 2-point conversion.
Now don't forget, Terrence Johnson was a quarterback in this program as a freshman, and he was an electrifying playmaker with his legs and with an arm. And you saw that quarterback arm right there on display. Perfect pass to Mason Craig, and very tricky with all the linemen flanked out to the far side. Poston Butte's got to be wondering what's going on right now.
A little bit of Oregon Duck action going on there.
Yeah.
So the score is 15-0 Cienega. We're just 3:19 left in the first quarter. So Bobcats have taken a commanding 2-score lead to open up this game. This touchdown drive was brought to you by Agero, Safe, Smart, Driven. To find out more, go to ageroagero.com.
I'm just curious as to why the Cats would go for a 2-point conversion. Unless they're thinking about here, they're already thinking about having a deep playoff run. That's something that they can unveil later on here when they truly need it. So maybe they just wanted to practice that in an actual game situation. It's a little bit surprising.
Meeker Hackett's kickoff is going to be fielded by Poston Butte at the 5-yard line, across the 10-yard line, taken up and dropped at the 20-yard line. So we've seen a lot happen here early in this game. We've seen first Poston Butte drive ended in an interception by Deco Chea. Cienega responded 2 drives later with their touchdown of their own. Poston Butte has been unable to get anything rolling on the offensive side of the ball, and the Bobcats have really taken advantage of that, taking a commanding 2-score lead.
And again, now they're down 15-0. And we'll see if Poston Butte can still try to run the football.
First down is going to be handoff to the fullback. Going to go for a couple, pushed up to the 24-yard line.
Yeah, it was tricky. It looked like it was going to be play action, but it was a sneaky handoff going to the fullback there. So I think that's what they're going to try to rely upon is misdirection, play action, and trying to do something that's difficult to follow.
What we've already seen here the past 2 weeks against Desert View and Saguaro is that Cienega is very physical up front, and you can't just pound the ball inside and expect to pick up positive yards on every play. You're going to have to do different things to try to get this defense caught off guard. And so that's what Poston Butte's trying to do here on this drive. Second down and 8. It's going to be a handoff to Hatfield. He's going to break a tackle, dropped at the 26-yard line.
There's TSR with a big hit. Trey Stewart-Reese, number 25, the senior, and he laid the hammer down right there in Hatfield.
Yeah, Hatfield's a big physical running back, so it was interesting to see the smaller Trey Ruiz pick up a big hit on that play. Third down and 6 here for the Broncos. Corbu's going to line up in the shotgun. 4 wide receivers. He's looking to his left. No, good coverage by Cienega, and the ball is going to be incomplete. Coverage on the play by the senior cornerback, Q Brown.
Yeah, Q was there, and Deco was there drifting back. I guess they call him kind of like the whip. He's a hybrid cornerback slash linebacker. He's a linebacker really kind of like in terms of stature, but he has the great coverage skills. So they're able to use him. The Bobcats are. Jay Johnson, the defensive coordinator. If they want Deco to blitz, he's the guy. So he's back there in the whip. And both guys were in great coverage, Q and Deco right there. Just difficult for the Broncos of Poston Butte to get going on offense.
Yeah, Deco Chea reminds me of that Troy Polamalu on the defensive side. Just really can do anything you ask him to. Punt by Poston Butte. It's going to be another high kick, short kick. gets Cienega bounce and is down at the 47-yard line. So Cienega will get excellent field position once again in opponent territory.
Well, not a good punt. That was 20 yards there net. And we've seen Hatfield punting. You just have to wonder, there's got to be somebody on their roster who can punt the football longer than 20 or 30 yards. What an advantage. Think about the special teams that Cienega has had over the years under Brett Hawley, their special teams coach, a guy who punted in the NFL. And you go down the string of kickers that kick field goals, and you look at their punters and how successful they've been. Aragon punting, Meeker Hackett this year kicking. Very successful in all facets or all phases of the game for the Bobcats.
First down and 10 is going to be a run to Will Walker straight up the middle, and he's going to go plunge ahead for a pickup of 4 yards on the play.
Slade Miller, one of their leading tacklers on defense, was there to make the play.
Walker's another big physical running back for this Cienega offense. He's got 26 carries on the year for 159 yards, a 6.1 average if you're keeping track at home, and 2 TDs on the season. So they really like to use him to pound inside, and they will also throw the ball out to him, and he's a good pass catcher and can get in space. Second down is going to be a play action for Alvarado. He's got Q Brown and lining up at wide receiver position. He's unable to haul it in. Good throw there by Alvarado, just Q Brown unable to hang on that play.
Nice coverage. Jordan Jones desperately there, breaking up the play. It was a nice route. The ball was right on target, and Q just unable to hold it. But that was nice coverage there by Jordan Jones to slap that football out of his hands.
Q Brown, a speedy wide receiver for the Cienega offense. He's got 5 catches on the year, 176 yards, averaging a whopping 35 yards a catch. So he's really their element of speed, as if they don't have enough speed on the offensive side. Another play action here on third down, and Alvarado is going to be sacked here on third down. Pocket collapsed around him, couldn't find anybody open. So fourth down upcoming.
Yeah, and Ben Crossley kind of put the finishing touches on that one, and I think Adriel took exception to it. But I like to see that. That's senior leadership there. That's being aware of the situation. The pocket collapsed, as you mentioned, and Adriel's just like, well, I guess I'll just eat that one, and we'll send out Matt Aragon to punt.
Yeah, good decision there by Alvarado. Wasn't going to try to force anything in to maybe get it intercepted, and didn't take the hit either. He just slid down, sort of like Peyton Manning does to avoid hits. So Aragon, low snap, he's going to kick it off.
Boy, that one skipped off the turf. That was an awful snap.
Just complete collapse by the special teams. Low snap, and Aragon hit it off the end of his shoe, it looked like, and that shanked.
Well, he just did a good job of picking that ball off the turf, and he actually had a little bit more time. But, you know, there's pressure there as the punter to get rid of that football and to punt it away. So just a good job to cleanly get it off, I guess. End of the first quarter. Tonight's game is brought to you by Jostens of Southern Arizona. Class rings, graduation products, caps and gowns, diplomas. Dream, believe, achieve, and remember.
Other sponsor for tonight is Vail Self Storage and Vail Family Dentistry. So that I'll wrap up the first quarter. Cienega leads by a score of 15-0. Scores by a 1-yard run by Dico Chea, and then a 5-yard run by Adriel, 1-yard run by Adriel Alvarado, and the 2-point conversion from Terrence Johnson to Mason Craig. So that's where we sit after one quarter. We'll be right back.
You weren't kidding. We're right back.
We are right back. We're here to start the second quarter. Poston Butte's going to have good field position at their own 35-yard line. First down play is going to go to Hatfield. Flag is thrown. If the play stands, Hatfield will pick up 3 yards on the play. Poston Butte seems to be backing up, so it looks like it might be a holding call. it's going to be a chop block on Poston Butte, so that'll back up the Broncos 10 yards. Unfortunate start to the drive for the Broncos. They were really looking to start momentum here to begin the quarter. Haven't gotten anything going on the offensive side. You may think getting the ball at the 35-yard line may give them some much-needed momentum, but that costly penalty is going to move them back 15 yards to the 20-yard line.
Yeah, they're having some tough sledding here, the Broncos. They just really want to run the ball, and they've been unable to do so effectively. Play action here.
Corvu is going to go deep. Q Brown in coverage. Ball is incomplete. Intended for...
Looks like it was Rene Elizondo, number 5, their senior wide receiver. And it was underthrown. I mean, quite frankly, you know, I don't know how strong Corvo's arm is, and now you're asking him to do something outside of his comfort zone and outside of his skill set, quite frankly. He doesn't have a big-time arm, but they've got to be able to keep this defense from the Bobcats off balance by mixing in the pass, but they've got to get some completions to do so effectively.
You know, Corvu's best strength isn't from coming from behind, and that's what Poston Butte's going to ask him to do here. So he's going to be in a new situation tonight. Delayed handoff here on second down. Going to go to the 25-yard line, pick up a 5. Brandon Hatfield on the delayed draw.
Looked like it was Walker Frigetti on the tackle. Walker's a junior, number 16, athletic. Saw his brother, his older brother today. His brother was in the basketball program here at Cienega, and his older brother Colt, that kid could leap to the ceiling. I mean, he just had tremendous hops, and I think that his brother Walker, who made that tackle, has some similar athleticism. So he mixes in there at linebacker along with Trevor Johnston, number 18, 2nd and 5.
Corvu is going to line up under center. Motion to the right. He's going to hand it off up the middle. No, he's going to keep it on the read option. He is dropped for a loss on the play.
TSR, Trey Stewart-Reese, senior, met his mother and father before the game. Really nice people. And I told both of them that he's just a great kid. I don't have Trey as a student in one of my classes, but whenever I see him like walking through the campus and the hallways of Cienega, just very, very respectful, very polite, genial, and just a good kid, a solid kid. Great athlete, too, on the football field.
3rd down and 6 upcoming for the Broncos. Corvu is going to be in the shotgun on this play. They're going to send Hatfield out to the left side. Looking that way, Corvu finds Hatfield.
Great catch.
Acrobatic catch. That's going to give Poston Butte a 1st down up across the 46-yard line.
That was a great catch. He had to adjust as he was running his route because the ball was slightly thrown behind him. So he did a twist, kind of like a pirouette, like a ballerina or a ballet dancer would have, to make that snatch and then to have the presence of mind to stretch the football forward to get the 1st down. That was very athletic by Hatfield. Great play.
Yeah, that's Hatfield's 6th catch on the season. He's up to over 140 yards on the season with 2 receiving touchdowns. So 1st down and 10, I formation. They're going to hand it off to No, it's going to be a run up the middle. Great trickery there by Poston Butte, and that's going to give them a 1st down. Handoff there to Alexander. A little bit of misdirection. Bobcats thought it was going to Hatfield. It was up the middle with Alexander. They were caught off guard, and that's going to be a 1st down for the Broncos.
It's cool. I don't know what the temperature is out here at the moment, but it's a brisk evening. Certainly this is November weather. I know it's been unseasonably warm, but it's cool out here right now.
1st down and 10. Going to hand it off. Drop for a loss on the play.
Austin Vaughn, one of the captains for tonight on the tackle.
Number 55.
Ty Schlegel there on the tackle as well.
Yeah, that's Vaughn's 41st tackle on the year. Yeah, you were talking about the weather. It's cold up here. My toes are about to drop off, but players must be feeling it down on the field too. First down, little misdirection again to Alexander, and it is read perfectly
Austin
on the
Vaughn.
play. Yep. What a play there. Great read by the Cienega defense. They weren't fooled at all on that play. Saw a couple plays earlier that Alexander was able to fool this defense, but not on that play. Good stop by Vaughn. That'll bring up 3rd down and 19. Corvu's going to be in the shotgun. Backpedals way back. Scrambles and is dropped.
Austin Vaughn.
Sack on the play. Austin Vaughn.
It was a sandwich. It was Ty Schlegel that was applying pressure there on the defensive end. And Austin Vaughn on 3 consecutive plays making tackles. You don't see that very often.
No, you don't. He's really a special player and one of the defensive leaders on this team. He's really been sparking this Cienega defense tonight.
Down for about 20 yards.
So that's going to force another punt for Poston Butte, and Cienega is going to get the ball again. We'll see if Hatfield can get a better kick. Dico Chea standing at the 36-yard line.
And they made a change there, right? So they subbed in Russell Corvo, the quarterback, to punt the football, and more effective here, getting in a friendly roll for the Broncos.
Down at the 17-yard line.
So a 43-yard punt. That's their best punt of the night.
So whatever they did, switching up their punters, must have worked for them. So Cienega is going to get the ball in their worst spot of the night. 17-yard line. Not necessarily a bad place to start, but not what Cienega was hoping for to start their drive.
Yeah, stark contrast here tonight in terms of game plan and philosophy and efficiency and effectiveness. Cienega's been able to do exactly what they want to do. Poston Butte has had to adjust on the fly. They've already changed their punter. They've already changed what they like to do on offense. They're trying to throw the football and stretch the field out vertically. And you have to give them credit here for trying to hang in the game by adjusting and evolving their attack plan.
First down and 10. Alvarado is going to look. He's going to fire deep down. He's got Jury along the sideline again. And out of reach of the speedy Tristan Jury.
Yeah, Trenton Tinsley was right there in coverage with great position, senior safety, 5'10", 145. Jury's a scat back. He's like 5'9", 165, but he's got some good speed and great hands. We saw that earlier tonight on his 38-yard reception. Kind of like a Darren Sproles kind of a figure.
Yeah, Jury can run the ball, as we've seen earlier, and he's definitely that element of speed on this offense. 2nd down and 10. Dico Chea is going to get the ball here. No, Alvarado is going to keep it on the read option. He's going to be spun down at the 20-yard line.
I don't know if that's something that I want to see too often. He's not the most fleet of foot. He's averaging less than a yard a carry, maybe even negative yardage. I know he excels at the goal line running the football, but that's your senior quarterback, and you want to keep him healthy here as well. Not speedy. I wouldn't describe Adriel as speedy.
No, certainly not. He's not one you would think that would be a read option quarterback. He doesn't fit your description of the modern-day Kaepernick or Russell Wilson. So 3rd down and 9. He's going to fire. He's got Trey Stewart-Rees on the catch. Up across the 30-yard line.
That's what I like to see. You've got that deep out pattern. I think there's a penalty marker down, but you see Trey with a great catch. He took a big hit from Zachary Smith and was able to hold on to the ball and make sure he was past that 1st down marker.
If this call stands, it'll be 1st down for the Bobcats.
Maybe pass interference here going against Trey. We'll see what the officials.
He seems to be pleading this case to the officials, trying to say, you know, I didn't push off, but officials seem to be leaning that way.
But that's what I like to see with Adriel, right? He's got the arm strength to throw that intermediate range out pattern, and the ball, his precision, his accuracy is just beautiful. It's something that he truly excels at.
Yeah, he's got a 59 completion percentage on the year, and that's going into the night. And with the passes he's been completing tonight, that'll be over 60% probably on the season. So Alvarado's a very efficient passer, almost not really a game manager, but definitely somebody that the Bobcats can rely upon and does a great job of picking up first downs.
All right, so I think we have an ineligible man downfield, and that's what the penalty is here. That'll come back.
So that penalty will push the Bobcats down inside the 15-yard line, down to the 14-yard line, it looks like. So third down and long upcoming.
And I think in this situation, if you're Cienega, you want to avoid a turnover. You want to avoid giving Poston Butte some positive momentum with great field position late. Although the Bobcats are never afraid to throw the football. They've got a wide open set here.
Alvarado in the shotgun. Jury's going to motion to the left side of the formation. He's looking that way. He's got Terrence Johnson on another screen route. Terrence up across the 20-yard line. Drop down 19 or 20-yard line. So fourth down upcoming. Johnson unable to pick up the first down.
And even though you're throwing the football in that situation, that's a safe route. You've got Terrence running on a quick slant. You have Jury that's there trying to set a pick for him and provide some downfield blocking. I mean, it was Terrence in wide open space. There's no threat of having the ball intercepted. Terrence is great at holding on to the football, just getting a little bit more distance here to play a little bit more positive field position for the Cats. And you've got Aragon, a great punter.
Yeah, Aragon averaging 38 yards a punt. This one's going to be fielded at the 45-yard line, and the returner is dragged down immediately right where he's caught the ball at the 45-yard line. So Poston Butte's going to set up their next drive inside their own territory with good field position.
Great coverage by Tristan Jury, who was right there. Nice tackle. And then George Torres, number 13, the junior on special teams, was there with the assist on the tackle. But a nice tackle by Tristan Jury, able to mix it up there on special teams. Gritty.
First down for the Broncos. Corvu's going to hand it off to Hatfield. Hatfield's going to plunge forward, runs into a wall, and it only gets 2 yards on the play.
Derek Summers, 63. To me, he is a key player on the defense here. He is their biggest player on the defensive front at just over 300 pounds, 6'2" plus. He is a run-clogging defensive tackle who's very athletic for a big guy. He had some health concerns earlier in the season. They had him playing offense and defense. Now they've just decided to have him specialize on the defensive front. To me, he's the key. He's the anchor on the defensive line.
Yeah, and moving him over has really helped him stay healthy on the stretch run of the season. Second down run, going to pick up a yard on the play. Nothing really going there for Poston Butte.
Austin Vaughn on the tackle. He's been active tonight.
And just 4 minutes left here in the second quarter. Cienega still leads 15-0. And when we go to halftime, we'll see the amazing Copper Thunder marching band and the color guard. Copper Thunder band got chosen to play at the halftime performance, or not the halftime, the marching parade during the Fiesta Bowl this January. So a big honor for them, and we'll be glad to welcome them and see them during the halftime. That third down throw by Corvu is incomplete, so that's going to force a fourth down for Poston Butte.
Yeah, Josh Alexander had the ball in and out of his hands. He was rattled by a jarring hit by Francisco Dico Chea. Little shake, rattle, and roll there on defense to break that one up. Because he had the first down in terms of distance off the catch, but he couldn't hold on to the football.
Yeah, great play by Dico Chea to break that one up and force a fourth down.
Bobcats have time here if they want to try to string together, run out the clock, and maybe put some more points on the board. Oh, there's a fake, and the Cats were not going for it. There were 4 Bobcats. Q Brown was there. Tristan Jury was also there. Dylan Howell, number 24, right there in coverage. And Chris Vega, the sophomore, all right there, and they sniffed that out very quickly.
Yeah, Hatfield lined up in the punt formation, and normally you don't think about going for it in this situation, but Bobcats weren't fooled by it.
It's a gutsy move for Poston Butte, and you can't blame them for trying to roll the dice here a little bit. The negative side of it for them is that the Cats have great field position now with a lot of time on the clock, 3:43 on the game clock here in the second quarter.
Alvarado's going to take the first down snap. He's going to hand it off to Dicochea. Dicochea is going to go to this, run up the sideline, pushed out of bounds across the 40-yard line, down around the 37-yard line. Good run there by Dicochea, following his blocker, staying patient, and working his way up the sideline.
Yeah, an eternity of time, really. 3:30 on the clock. Ball's on the 37-yard line of Poston Butte. Cats are just poised here.
Alvarado under center again. It's going to be a pitch to Dicochea to the right. Blown up at first. Dicochea is going to make a man miss, and he's dragged down at the 45-yard line. So that play blown up by the Broncos as they were ready for that one.
Ben Crossley, 68 there on the tackle. 6 foot 285 senior on the defensive line.
Third down and long upcoming for Cienega, as Alvarado will likely go to the air on this play. Terrence Johnson, the lone wide receiver, up to the top of your screen. No, it's going to be a run up the middle to Dicochea, and he's going to plunge forward to the 40-yard line. So unable to pick up the first down there, and the Bobcats, granted with great field position, unable to do anything positive with it.
Yeah, and Adriel's staying out on the field, so you would think this would be like a clear punt situation, but that offense is staying out on the field. They're getting some signals here. Cienega is now electing, it looks like, to bring out the special teams.
Yeah, Aragon jogging out there for the Bobcats.
They'll run some clock time off. I don't know how many timeouts that Poston Butte has left, but it seems like they're content to let the clock run down as well. And Matt Aragon will probably snap this with 2, maybe 3 seconds on the play clock.
Nobody out returning for Poston Butte. Punt's going to roll, hit the 2-yard line.
Oh, look at that.
Beautiful bounce. Wow, what a great punt by Aragon. Friendly bounce, and the ball is down at inside the 5-yard line. Great punt there and coverage by the Bobcats.
38 yards on the punt. That's right around his average for the season, but more importantly, pinning your opponent inside their 5-yard line. The ball bounced at the 1, and then it came back. I don't know if you can put some, I guess, backspin on the football, but that's exactly what happened. Beautiful punt by Matt Aragon.
So Poston Butte's going to have 1 minute, 42 seconds left to try to get something going to close out the second quarter. And they'll probably look to go to the air here, or at least try to get it out of their own end zone with the run play. Man in motion. Corvo's going to hand it up the middle. Initially gets past the line of scrimmage, pushed up to about the 6-yard line. So Poston Butte not electing to use any of their timeouts or show any sense of urgency, so they may be content to run the ball out to get at the end of the second half or second quarter.
Yeah, I think they're content to go into halftime here down 15-0. The Bobcats have a timeout, so they may elect to use one of those after this play.
Corvo's going to hand it off to the outside, up across the 14-yard line, down around 15-yard line. They'll wait for the spot. They're going to move the chain, so first down and out of bounds, so that'll save the clock a little bit. A minute exactly remaining.
Hatfield does have some speed. You saw him turn the corner there, and Terrence Johnson on the tackle. And now this takes out the calculus of the Cats trying to conserve the clock and maybe get the ball back. It's 1 minute left. First down, Poston Butte.
From the 14-yard line, going to be a rollout.
Oh,
late hit there.
Hit by Dicochea. Josh Alexander came up slowly off of that hit.
He's going to feel that one tomorrow. A little bit of a dirty hit there by Dicochea. Came around the edge and just laid some punishment out on Alexander. That's going to cost the Bobcats 15 yards.
I think he was, if he wasn't out of bounds, he was clearly a step away from being out of bounds. So maybe the officials there viewing it as excessive. So personal foul going against Dico.
maybe leading with the crown of his helmet. You didn't hear too much of that helmet-to-helmet collisions, but probably a late hit there by Dico Chea, and he'll probably hear about that in the locker room or after tonight's game.
Alexander, a sophomore, he's only 5'7", 140 pounds. Shaking out some cobwebs there and showing some guts staying on the field.
Kovaru is going to backpedal here on this first down throw over the head of his intended receiver. 52 seconds left on the clock.
And if you're Poston Butte, you've got 53 seconds on the clock. You have 2 timeouts. You have decent field position. You don't want to go into the locker room down with no points on the board. And you just think that the longer that this game goes, they're going to have to, at some point, take some chances. And it may be a time for them to do that here. On the other hand, they want to avoid a pick 6, a turnover, giving the ball back to Cienega and going into with a larger deficit than the one they're already looking at, down 15 zip.
Second down and 10. Going to hand the ball off to Hatfield. He's going to go to the 38-yard line. So as we approach halftime, let's say, what are the coaches going to say to these teams at halftime?
Well, it's interesting. Last week, Chuck McCullum, who's the offensive line coach for the Bobcats, he gave the Cienega players a tongue lashing at halftime, filled with spicy language, I'd like to call it, maybe some coarse or colorful language. And then if you're Poston Butte, I think that they have to try to figure out a way. It could be some trick plays. They can't deviate too much from what they do and who they are, which is running the football. But they've got to maybe have some more creative ways, maybe some misdirection, maybe some motion, some play action, something that's not too far deviating from what they normally do. But they have to have some big plays. For the Bobcats, they're going to probably do the same thing. Look, we're going to run the football. We've got to tackle. We have to eliminate mistakes and just do what we do. They have things well under control.
Yeah, I think you make a great point. Going into halftime, Poston Butte is not out of this game, so I think their coaches are going to say, calm all the players down, say, hey, we're only down 2 scores. Let's just chip away, chip away, chip away. And I think they can really feed off of that if they all just chip away at the lead. They're not going to get it, on every play. They're not going to get that 80-yard touchdown. They're just get it in small chunks. And from Cienega, I think they're just going to be told, keep doing what we're doing. Don't make mistakes. Play angry, play aggressive, but understand your limits. And so this second half is going to be really fun to watch.
If I'm Poston Butte right here, I take a crack at the end zone. I try for one big play right here. What do you have to lose going into the locker room?
But does Kovaru have the arm strength? We've already seen questionable arm strength from him during this game, so they're limited on what they can do here on this play.
Well, they called a timeout, so you'd like to think that their offensive coordinator, their head coach, are going to draw something up here. Maybe a hook and ladder, maybe a couple of streaks going down the sideline, something deep that gives them a chance. And if they turn the ball over, then oh well. I mean, you're probably going to go into the half down 15-0. So why not take a big chance here at a big play going down the field?
Yeah, only 12 seconds left, so time for one or maybe 2 more plays here. As we approach halftime, we'd like to thank some of tonight's sponsors: Walker Family Medicine, Dr. Endine Sports Institute of Tucson, and United Community Healthcare Center. So 12 seconds remaining here in the half. Poston Butte lines up in the shotgun. They're going to hand it to Hatfield. You're going to cut across. A big run here by Hatfield up across the 40-yard line.
Call timeout.
Timeout. Much more manageable Hail Mary situation. Kovaru doesn't have elite arm strength, but you got to think that he can throw the ball 40 yards in the air.
Yeah, I think so. And you got a slight wind going left to right, ever so slight, just the faintest trace of a breeze. But remember, you don't have to launch the ball into the end zone. Somebody could catch the ball, and if you have somebody trailing behind, it could be a lateral or a pitch, and that could spring a player. So they're in striking distance here now at the 39-yard line. But no, I don't think he has the arm strength to air it out and hit the end zone on a fly. I don't know if he's got 40-yard arm strength or not. I think 30, 35 plus, but I don't know if he's got enough strength in that right arm to deliver it into the end zone.
So maybe a tip drill, you got people lining up at the goal line, 5 or 10 yard line. Maybe you got one person trying to tip it backwards to a receiver in the end zone. I saw that last year, Bengals and Ravens. AJ Green had an acrobatic catch as a Hail Mary to end the game. So we'll see what the Broncos do on this play. Corvu's going to backpedal, standing at the 50-yard line. He's looking for somebody. He's going to fire, and it's going to be short. Picked off.
He's got a chance for a pick 6 here if he gets the blocks opening up for him.
He's got it across the sideline to the 40.
Boom,
He's
there's
down.
a big hit.
Oh. Out of bounds.
Gabe Flynn, 36, coming the other direction, and that's the big hit that you always see. A player who has no idea that there's another player coming from the other direction, and he got laid out. But Terrence was right there. You saw the arm strength, I would say 30, 35 yards. And then Corvo never really had his feet set. So, you know, he's kind of backpedaling. There was a little bit of pressure. He's kind of rolling out to his left. Not what you really want to see if you're Poston Butte. And then, again, more momentum going into the locker room at halftime for the Bobcats with Terrence on an interception and another turnover for the Bobcats.
Yeah, great play by Terrence Johnson. The pass came up short, and he had plenty of blockers in front of him. He just stepped out at 45-yard line. But great way for the Bobcats to go into half. And with that, we'll take a break. We'll stay here, 15-0 Cienega, as we are in the first round of Division II playoffs. Winner moves on, loser goes home. We'll be right back.
Always appreciated to all of our visitors and sponsors, Double Financial, Double Home Loans, everything was good for you to heart. Dr. Sports to Tucson, Walker, and Madison,
Everything's down.
Montgomery's Drill Belt.
Check. Check.
5. Just for this part, just for the when we're standing there. Can I eat my sandwich? Like, is that a
Point to us when you're ready. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the second half of Division II playoffs. Cienega leads Poston Butte by a score of 15-0. They had scoring drives in the first quarter, a 1-yard rush by Francisco Dicochea, and then a 1-yard rush in the second quarter by QB Adriel Alvarado. 2-point conversion to Terrence Johnson from Terrence Johnson to Mason Craig was good, and that is where we stand here to begin the second half. Jason, what's your thoughts on the first half?
Well, I'm going to leap ahead. I know I shouldn't put the cart before the horse, but the other game here between the 5 and 12 seeds in that Division II playoff landscape, Marcos Deniza, a team that Cienega Bobcat fans are familiar with. In 2001, it was the Michael Archie-led team that had a thrilling comeback late in the game, and I think a defensive stand at the end of the game to beat Marcos Deniza, which put them in the quarterfinals against Ironwood Ridge the year that that team went to the state title game. Marcos Deniza right now is up 21-0 over Deer Valley. Deer Valley is the 5 seed in that tournament. So that's just kind of interesting to look forward to next week. In terms of the game here tonight, it's Cienega imposing their will over Poston Butte. The Bobcats are doing what they do. They run the football. They can mix in the pass when they need to, and you're seeing here turnovers on defense, big hits on defense, special teams has come through. I mean, in all facets of the game, I think if you're Niemer Hassey, that you're pleased with the effort. And I think we'll see more of that happening here in the second half.
Yeah, for sure. Everybody knows that this is Niemer Hassey's last year coaching Cienega. So Bobcats have come out every game and played inspired, and I think they've come with that same attitude and that infectious desire to win here tonight. First half leaders were Francisco Dicochea from the Bobcats. He had an early interception on defense and turned around and scored on the offensive side of the ball. Adriel Alvarado has been sharp passing the ball. He's completing almost over 50% of his passes tonight, and he's made some big plays when he's needed to, including a big completion to Tristan Jury that set up a 1-yard score to Dicochea. And we're just about ready to kick off for second half, so it'll be an interesting second half as Poston Butte has really struggled offensively, and Cienega's going to get the ball, and so they'll have a chance to strike first.
And I think the other thing too, Alec, if you're looking at both teams in terms of athleticism, team speed, major advantage for Cienega. Terrence Johnson is a great player. He's not a speedster. I wouldn't consider him a speedster in the classic sense of the word. He looks lightning fast out here by comparison to Poston Butte. Here's the onside kick.
Onside kick to open up the second half. Everybody's piling on top of it. And Cienega's going to come up with the ball to open up the second half. So trickery there from Poston Butte definitely caught Cienega off guard, but they were able to recover it, and they'll have, once again, excellent field position to start off their drive.
And again, why not roll the dice here? You're trying to create some momentum for yourselves. I think they're outclassed, quite frankly. They don't have the playmakers. They don't have the athleticism. They don't have the team speed. There's a deficit in all those areas for Poston Butte, so they've got to try to make something happen via surprise. So trying the onside kick, why not?
But Cienega's going to get the ball, and they're going to do a handoff to Terrence Johnson. He's going to cut across the 40-yard line. Big hole on the offensive side, and he is dragged down at the 30-yard line. Big run by Terrence Johnson as he is showing off that speed that we talked about earlier.
Yeah, 24 yards on the run. That's one of his biggest plays of the season, running the football. He looks much faster than the other team.
So great play there by Cienega to open up the second half, and they're in great field position down inside the 30-yard line. 2 wide receivers for the Bobcats. Jury's going to go in motion for Cienega. Alvarado's going to do screen pass to Terrence Johnson again. It's Terrence stiff arms, dragged down, pushed out of bounds at the 21-yard line.
Zachary Smith on the tackle, the corner, number 4, 5'8", 160. But if you look at speed, look at Cienega, right? Tristan Jury has great speed. Terrence has good speed. Deco has solid speed. Wyatt Dansby, we haven't seen him yet. He has electrifying speed. I think he's the fastest player on that Bobcat roster. So there's just more weapons to deploy for the Bobcats.
Pitch Dicochea to the right side. He's got a big hole. Makes the first man miss, and he is dragged down at the 18-yard line. Close to a first down. We'll check the spot.
And I think Cienega may have found something earlier, that this is something that they have not really utilized. But Terrence Johnson, a former quarterback, he had a 2-point conversion pass to Mason Craig. Craig's a great pass receiving tight end. They could utilize, if they wanted to, Terrence on plays like that going deeper into the playoffs.
Matt Aragon to the top of your screen in single coverage. We're going to hand the ball off, though, to Dico Chea. He's going to plunge forward. Breaks a tackle.
Well, what you didn't see there, he was wrapped up by Juan Lapreda, who is a 6'2", 318-pound defensive tackle. In the midst of that, Dico lowers the shoulder and lowers the boom on Josh Alexander. He's taken 2 punishing hits, withering hits. Bernard Hopkins fighting tomorrow at 49 years old. It's a Bernard Hopkins counter right hand from Dico Chea.
Will Walker's going to motion. I'm going to throw a flag here on the play. Maybe a little bit of offsides, or excuse me, false start from the Bobcats. Nope. We're going to move it forward, so offsides.
It's just more momentum here, building against Poston Butte. They have to do something to stop this. They've tried with trickery. They've tried with onside kicks. They've tried with a fake punt, and just nothing's working here.
False start there by Cienega. Offensive lineman
Joe Tav.
Joe Tav is on.
It looked like he was in blocking drills in spring training when they hit the sled. He just exploded off the line, but a little bit too early on that one.
Yeah, it's great. That's what you want to see from your offensive lineman, just pouncing off the snap, but just a little early there from Tav.
And I think the offensive line is kind of under-heralded. So you have Antonio Moreno, 66, a junior. And then on the left side, you've got Joe Tav at left tackle. You have Bryce Fontana at left guard.
Second down play is going to be pitch to Terrence Johnson. Terrence breaks a tackle, touchdown Bobcats.
Yep, 15 yards on the run, and it was on that left side that we just talked about. Bryce Fontana, Joe Tavazon, Antonio Moreno from the center to left guard to left tackle, just opening a hole, and there's Terrence's speed, which is apparent here tonight.
Yeah, there was a big hole on the left side. Terrence came in motion, received the handoff from Alvarado, and with great blocking, there was a big hole, and Terrence sped through it. Great play by the Bobcats. Meeker Hackett on for the extra point. Kick is up, and it is good. So no trickery there on the extra point from Cienega, but that's going to give them a 22-0 lead here to begin the second half with just less than 3 minutes gone.
Well, it's interesting coming in, looking at the schedule. When you have Poston Butte, they had a strong strength of schedule. They had the 13 seed, 7-3 coming into the game here tonight. Their opponent's strength of schedule was a 3.1 plus. Cienega had a 3.0, so they have very comparable strengths of schedules. The difference is that Cienega only lost 1 game. They lost their season opener at Ironwood Ridge, a tough place to play, well-coached team, a team that's had a lot of success, state champion 2 years ago. So that's the difference. Cienega has won these close games. They're 6-1 against teams in the top 16. So that's the difference. Yes, Cienega's playing a comparably difficult schedule, but they've been successful. They've been winning ball games. Conversely, Poston Butte has been losing ball games. They got blown out a couple of times too.
Yeah, Poston Butte is on a 2-game losing streak, so they haven't had any momentum their last couple games.
Yeah, great point. Week 9, they lost 16-0 against Campo Verde. Week 10, they lost 32-15 against Westwood. So they're kind of spiraling in the wrong direction, and certainly everything here tonight has been moving against them.
That kickoff from Meeker Hackett sails out of bounds. So that'll put the ball at the 35 or 40-yard line. So good field position for the Broncos.
Tim Nichols, the public address announcer, famous for his first down Cienega call. He's rocking AC/DC tonight, playing a little TNT. And that's what Cienega's doing to Poston Butte. They're blowing them up with dynamite.
Yep. Their defensive line has been dynamite. As you said, they haven't allowed anything on the ground so far. First down and 10 for the Broncos at their own 35-yard line. Corvu's in the back under center. He's going to hand it off to Hatfield. And Hatfield is dragged down for a loss on the play.
Ty Schlegel there at the left end.
Number 55, yeah, Ty Schlegel.
Getting penetration. He's a leader on this team on the defensive front. He's athletic. He gets after the quarterback. He gets some penetration. He's a great run stopper, and he's a vocal, emotional spark plug on that defensive front.
He reminds me of a young Ray Lewis, just very emotional out on the field, very energizing, just gets everybody around him excited, and you see everybody flying around the defense. Second down and 12. They're going to hand it up the middle to the fullback. And actually that was Corvu on the keeper, and he is dragged down on the play.
Well, there's a change here too, right? So Poston Butte has brought in number 18, Chavez Hawkins Jr., who's a sophomore, to play the quarterback position. They're desperate here, and they're trying to do something desperately to get back in this game. So Hawkins is probably a speedier weapon at the quarterback position, right? And he just had the last carry. So we'll see if he stays in there under center. And it is Chavez Hawkins Jr. at the line of scrimmage.
Motion to the right side, Alexander. Hawkins is going to hand it off. And another blown up play by Cienega. Number 63, Derek Sommers, in for the tackle, and he is just a force up front. Just a massive player, and you don't want to run into him.
So Hatfield on the carry, and again, coming into it, right, all the focus was on him, the sophomore running back with nearly 1,400 yards. He's over that here total tonight, but he hasn't even gotten 50 yards on the evening. He'll be held under 100 yards in check, so he's well below his season average.
Fourth down here. They're going to punt it. Long, high punt again. Fair caught by Deco Che at the 41-yard line.
And Deco had to wedge himself. There were two defenders there. Number 12, Hayden Brimhall. Number 27, Trenton Tinsley. And Deco raised his hand for the fair catch signal, and he had to knife his way through. Excuse me, boys, I'm trying to catch this punt.
Yeah, he was definitely sandwiched in between two defenders, and any sort of contact would have drawn a flag, but no call there.
Solid. Think about what Deco does, right, in all three facets. Special teams as a punt returner, on defense as the whip and the cover linebacker and a blitzing linebacker. Offense, the workhorse running back in this stable of weapons in Emer Hassey's offensive attack.
First down is going to be a throw to Matt Aragon along the side, or on a slant route, up across to the 50-yard line. That'll be just shy of a first down.
Solid. The latest in a string of great possession wide receivers for the Cienega Bobcats, going back to Trent Simon, number 16. Then you think about Javier Alonio, and then you look at Luke Hawley, and now we have Matt Aragon and Terrence Johnson, great possession receivers.
Pitch is going to be the right side to Deco Chea. He's going to pick up the first down. He's got another hole, dragging defenders with him all the way down inside the 35-yard line. Great run there by Deco Chea, just following his blockers and taking defenders with them for a pickup of 15 yards on the play.
15 yards, another 100-yard game for him on the ground. The legs are always moving. He's always moving forward. He's lowering the shoulder. I mean, he's a punishing running back, and that's somebody that you can rely upon. The more he gets the ball in his hands, the better he goes as the game kind of wears on.
Matt Aragon to the bottom of your screen. See if Alvarado looks his way. He's got single coverage on the outside. Alvarado's looking deep for Aragon. Aragon's got open coverage.
What a great catch.
Great catch, but did he stay in bounds?
Oh, at the very end, the ball kind of came out. A little bit of juggling. He seemed to have had it, but just slightly bobbling as he made contact with the ground.
Yeah, the cornerback on that play, on the coverage, 27, Trenton Tinsley, wasn't even aware that the ball was being thrown at him until the very last second, and Aragon had to make an acrobatic catch, but unfortunately wasn't able to haul it in.
Quick trivia question. The state capital of New Jersey is?
Trenton.
There you go. Trenton Tinsley on coverage.
Second down and 10. There's going to be a handoff to Deco Chea up the middle. He's going to run forward, picks up about 2 yards on the play. One thing we haven't seen from the Cienega offense tonight is Trey Stewart Ruiz. We've seen him a lot throughout the season as he has spelled Dico Chea when he has gotten tired. And they really like to use Trey Stewart Ruiz as a change of pace back, but we haven't seen a lot of him tonight. And maybe as this game wears on, we'll see more of him.
Yeah, it would be nice to see. He's a change of pace back, and Wyatt Dansby, number 21, is an electrifying speedster at that tailback position as well, but it's all Dico. Play clock expired. It'll be a delay of game here against the Cats. Oh, they called a timeout right before the clock expired.
Yeah, they say 5 yards on that play. So it'll be 3rd down and 8 still when we return.
And it's interesting too, right? So you've got Jay Johnson down on the field always, defensive coordinator, does a terrific job with the defense. Last week making adjustments at halftime. You have Pat Nugent, who's down on the field. Niemer Hassett, the head coach, is up on the press box. It gives him a better view of the chessboard, if you will, when you look at the field and personnel and trying to find mismatches to exploit. This arrangement has worked beautifully this season for the Bobcats.
Yeah, Hassey up in the booth. He's able to scan the field. He's got a very good view from here in the press box. He can see the play unfolding as it happens. He's not down, squished on the sidelines where you're only able to see parts of the plays. You get a very good angle up here on top. And so there's good communication between Hassey and the offensive defensive coordinators, and their game planning tonight has been on point. And
no ego, no concern about having a coach down on the field and the head coach down on top of the press box. It's just been worked out beautifully this season.
3rd down and 8 for Cienega. Jury's going to go in motion to the left side. Alvarado's going to look. He's got Tristan Jury, but the pass sails out of bounds just over the head of the intended receiver.
Yeah, Zachary Smith, the senior safety and corner, seemed to have smelled that one out or picked it up. And we've seen Tristan Jury being deployed in motion. They're trying to find him and put him out in space and then create some opportunities for him down the field. They've run that play a couple of times tonight. It was successful last week against Saguaro, and I think Poston Butte now has detected it. They can see, well, if number 3 goes in motion, you got to keep locked on him because he's got some big time speed.
For sure. 4th down upcoming. Looks like Cienega's going to go for it. Alvarado's going to take the snap. He's looking. He's got Aragon along the sidelines.
Great
Aragon
catch.
makes the catch. Yeah. Spun down at the 21-yard line. That's going to give the Bobcats a 1st down. Great play call from Cienega. Alvarado ran an out route towards the sideline. Great positioning, and Alvarado hit him on the money. Great play there.
Yep, and a timing route too. So Aragon was flanked near side to us, run 7 yards, and it's a quick out and kind of like a hook. And Adriel just releasing it on a timing pattern. Great catch by Matt Aragon.
Johnson's going to go in motion, and they're going to feed it to him on the right side. He cuts back, got a big hole. He's at the 10, inside the 5, dragged down at the 2-yard line. Another big hole for Terrence Johnson to run through it. And you've seen every time he's gotten the ball on those sweeps, he's made the most of it.
Yeah, 19 yards on the carry. He's close to 100 yards on the night. And just able to change his pace and his direction very quickly. Very effective tonight for the Bobcats.
Yeah, he started to go outside towards the sideline, but then he found a seam inside, followed his blockers, and was able to get down inside the 5-yard line. 1st and goal, Cienega from the 3-yard line. They're going to send Johnson in motion again, but this time they're going to give it to Dico Chea. He's going to cut through the middle, plunge forward, and he is dropped down at the 1-yard line, just shy of the goal line. So they ran the same play, just going the opposite direction, but this time giving it to Dico Chea. They were hoping to catch Poston Butte off guard and maybe think they were giving it back to Johnson, but they weren't fooled by that play.
Yep, this is Dico territory. You hand him the football and you let him plow forward. And Will Walker's a wrecking ball at fullback. His job is to blow up a hole. And well, there's Adriel.
Adriel's going to go on the sneak again. Touchdown, Bobcats. That's Alvarado's 2nd rushing touchdown of the night. And as we saw earlier, he's got a great presence of mind. Just make himself smaller, and he is able to squeak in for a touchdown. Great play by the Bobcats.
I think we can put a fork in this one tonight.
Yeah, it's just about over. I put the baby to bed.
There's nothing. Poston Butte has done nothing offensively. They can't generate any first downs, much less try to get points.
That kick by Meeker Hackett is up, and it is good. So the Cienega Bobcats take a 29-0 lead with 3:48 left in the third quarter. That touchdown drive brought to you by Agero. Agero, safe, smart, driven. To find out more, go to agero.com. Quick shout out to the Copper Thunder Marching Band, doing a great job tonight. And they've stayed intense this whole game. They're doing the fight song right now, and they are loud. We can hear them from up here. And so they keep this place, they keep the energy right up in the building here.
Saw Brett Hawley, the special teams coach, moments ago talking to his kicker, Jacob Meeker Hackett, who is perfect on extra points here tonight. For the season, he's 43 of 45, and we saw him miss that field goal earlier. Just seemed like the snap and the place and the holds and the kick just weren't really in rhythm. So he's 8 for 12 on the year with field goals as well.
A kickoff taken by Poston Butte, and the returner is dragged down at the 19-yard line.
Chris Vega there on the tackle. Number 27, Veron Chappell, or Chappell, Veron Chappell, also there on the tackle.
So Poston Butte's going to get the ball at their own 20-yard line, and they've got to get something going. They've lacked any spark on the offensive side of the ball all night, and it has just been a struggle for them moving the ball. Man in motion to the left side. They're going to hand it off to Alexander. Alexander is spun and dragged down at the 16-yard line.
I think it was Gabe Flynn, number 36, maybe Austin Vaughn, number 30, converging on the tackle. And momentum has just spiraled out of control here. It's a deluge of momentum going against Poston Butte, a tidal wave, a tsunami. There's nothing they can do right now. They're trying their best, but they're just outclassed here tonight.
Second down and 14. They're going to hand the ball up the middle to Batiste. And he's going to get nothing on the play, loses a couple, and there's a flag. We'll see what that is. That's going to be holding on Poston Butte, so that's going to pin them even deeper inside their own territory.
I think the Cats are going to decline this penalty.
Yeah, it's going to force third down and long. Smart decision there from Cienega. Third down. Oh, it's going to be third down and long, and you don't want to give Poston Butte any more opportunities. Hawkins is under center for this play. He's going to hand it off to the right side, and they are stuffed by Terrence Johnson. Good tackle there by Terrence. It's going to force fourth down and long.
That was Drayton Nicholson, number 14, on the carry. That's his first carry of the evening, and another punting situation here for Poston Butte.
And at this point, you almost have to punt it, even though you're down 4 scores. If you don't get the fourth down conversion here, you're basically giving Cienega a free score. So they got to punt it away here. Flag on the play, delay of game.
it's interesting. Cienega is one of the few stadiums here in southern Arizona that has a play clock, and they've got a play clock at both corners of the end zone. In high school, it's a 25-second clock that you have to get your play off, and the clock has expired there, so even worse field position for Poston Butte.
Punt is going to go out of bounds. 30-yard punt on the play. Cienega is going to get the ball at the Poston Butte 34-yard line.
Ball goes out around the 33. That takes over. Touchdown, Cienega. Hey, a lot of those positive notables around campus. Hey, don't forget Fame is showing right now. Fame is in the black box, our creative crew. Fantastic job year after year. Showing tonight and also tomorrow night.
First down and 10 for Cienega.
You want to talk about a great day? Check out one of our
Wyatt Dansby checks into the backfield. Jury in motion to the right side.
Oh, he's got explosive speed.
They're going to give it on the screen to Terrence Johnson once again. And he's going to go forward, pickup of 8 on the play. And it seems like every time Cienega puts the ball in Terrence's hands, they pick up positive yardage. He is somebody that this offense and this team knows that they have to get the ball to if they want to be successful. But they have so many weapons on the offensive side. We've seen almost all of them here tonight. Jury, Johnson, Deco, Aragon, really explosive offense. Alvarado's going to throw again, and he's got Aragon up, and it is dropped by Aragon.
Yeah, you don't see that often. He was trying to run before he caught the football. It was a quick slant. The ball was delivered right where it needed to be, and Matt was just looking forward before he secured the ball.
Yeah, he picked up his head a little too early, lost concentration on the ball, and unable to haul it in.
The offensive line has done a terrific job tonight for Cienega, and also in the last 5 weeks, really establishing themselves as a force on the offensive front, and very effective again tonight.
This is going to be a pitch to Dansby on 3rd down and 2.
There's the speed.
He's going to get, yeah, he got the speed, cuts back, push down inside the 10-yard line, down to the 5.
So 20 yards on the pickup, and he had the speed there turning the corner. I mean, if they can get him out in space, he is a difference maker.
Yeah, certainly. Dansby, a junior, and he's going to be somebody that the Bobcats will rely on next year when Deco Chea's gone, Johnson's gone, Aragon's gone. A lot of these offensive stars are going to be gone, so this is going to be Dansby's team next year. First down and goal for the Bobcats. It's Deco time. They're going to give it to him, and he is tripped up inside the 5-yard line. Doesn't look to pick up, didn't look like he picked up anything there.
So you see the offensive line. You see Mason Craig there, number 80. Joe Tav. Joe Tav is on number 77. You've got number 72, Eddie Bensing. Spelling in tonight. Ty Schlegel has played some right tackle as well. The center, Antonio Moreno. Bryce Fontana, 78 at left guard. That line, they've mixed it up a little bit, but that has been the core offensive line here tonight. And they have just done a terrific job, as that will end the 3rd quarter with the Cats up 29-0.
Great 3rd quarter by Cienega, scoring twice, and they've really put this game out of reach, and they'll look to just keep it going in here in the 4th quarter and just dash and get rid of all hope of Poston Butte making a comeback.
Yeah, I think the one thing that you want to look forward to here in the 4th quarter, subbing in players. So we've seen Wyatt Dansby now, who's in the game. Can you sub in some other players here? Keep your starters healthy. They want to close this game out effectively, not give Poston Butte any chance here or a flicker of hope. And I think you're going to check the game score here for that Deer Valley Marcos Deniza game. Again, Marcos Deniza, the 12 seed, Deer Valley, the 5 seed. The Bobcats will play the winner of that game next Friday here at Cienega. And certainly for you watching at home, we'll bring you the game exclusively here on Bobcat TV. And I expect a bigger crowd next week with more electricity in the air, with more at stake as we move on to round 2 of the state tournament. And it's 28-7, Marcos Deniza over Deer Valley. That game is in the 3rd quarter.
Great job.
So timeout on the field as we get ready for the 4th quarter. We'll likely see a Deco Chea run or even a run to Terrence Johnson.
Yeah, you could do play action here too. You've got Aragon near side and Johnson far side.
Single coverage. He's going to throw over the middle. Pass is broken up, intended for the big tight end, Mason Craig. We talked about him earlier, comparing him to Antonio Gates or Jason Witten, and he really fits that mold. He can block, he can catch. But when I talked to him, I have a class with him, and he said the reason he chose number 80 is because of a guy we haven't talked about yet, Jimmy Graham. He loves Jimmy Graham, and I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a score here. Maybe he try to do a crossbar dunk or a floater over the crossbar like the classic Jimmy Graham.
I like Jimmy Graham. If you've got him on your fantasy football team, you know exactly how good he is.
Oh, for sure.
Slow start this year, battling the injuries, but he's come on, especially here in recent weeks.
But that's going to be 4th down, and Meeker Hackett's going to come in for a field goal. A kick is up, and it is good. So another successful attempt by Jacob Meeker Hackett, and he has been money this season.
So we'll call that a 22-yard field goal by Jacob Meeker Hackett, who is now 9 for 13 on the season for field goals. Cats up 32-0. Yeah, I like Jimmy Graham, and I like Mason Craig. Mason Craig has some nice hands. He's got deceptive speed. Pretty adept at finding spaces in the coverage, those little gaps on zone defenses. And that was a tough one. I mean, it was a quick, I guess a quick slant or a short post for him. And I think the pass was maybe slightly behind Mason Craig. He's got good hands.
Yeah, and watching him this year, watching the season unfold, Craig has an unbelievable ability to adjust to the ball. He's got a very long arm span, and he's able to move his body, and he's able to secure the ball with his big body. And unfortunately there, he wasn't able to come up with it, but we're used to seeing Craig make incredible plays. That kick from Meeker Hackett's going to be fielded at the 4-yard line, brought up to about the 15-yard line, across the 20 to the 25, and just over the 30-yard line. Good run back there by Poston Butte, as they will start their drive at their own 32-yard line with 11:46 remaining in this game.
Yeah, it was Hatfield again, and Tristan Jury on the tackle. He's made a couple of special teams tackles. Quentin Gerby, number 20, also assisting on the tackle. Quentin's a senior, number 20 on special teams. It's going to be a long bus ride back tonight for Poston Butte.
No kidding. First down is going to be a handoff to the right side, and it is stuffed by the Bobcats.
Will Walker levying out the punishment to poor Josh Alexander. And Alexander's been on the recipient of 3 withering hits. There was the Deco Chea tackle earlier, there was the Austin Vaughn tackle, and there was Will Walker. So poor Josh Alexander, the sophomore, he's game. He's coming out here tonight and giving his best, but he has taken some just horrific punishment.
2nd down and 10 for the Broncos. They're going to hand it straight up the middle to Batiste. And he's going to plunge ahead, pickup of 1 yard on the play.
10:50 on the clock, 4th quarter. Cats on top, 32-0.
And Poston Butte at this point, they know they're done. I mean, there's no other way to put it. They're just trying to put the pieces together and not just try to avoid a complete obliteration.
Yeah, the effort's been there. I mean, you can't fault them for lack of effort because the effort has absolutely been there. But they've just been mismatched. They're outclassed in terms of talent and personnel.
Play action here on 3rd down. Hawkins is going to be sacked. Pressure there brought off the edge by Austin Vaughn again. So great play by the defense.
Yep, Austin Vaughn, Derek Summers, Ty Schlegel, all there. You know, John Madden, I know you guys think of him as like the video game Madden, but John Madden was a great coach for the Oakland Raiders, won 2 Super Bowls for them in the late 70s and 1980 Super Bowl. And the one thing that I remember from him as a commentator on games, great commentator, great analyst, he would always talk about the finality of it, like how quickly things end and how quickly not only a season is for these players here, but for the seniors, their high school career coming to an end. It's not the way that they anticipated that it would, and it's very difficult to handle mentally, emotionally, to process your high school career as a football player is coming to an end.
Yeah, and a lot of these players, most of them don't go on and play college football. There's a select few that get scholarships or are able to walk on to D1 and D2 programs, but a lot of these guys, for Poston Butte, this is their last football game that they will likely ever play, and so to go out like this, it's got to be a tough pill to swallow for them. And same goes for the Cienega players. Everybody, all their seniors are fighting, and they don't want their dream season to end. This is Hassie's last year. This is the seniors' last year. They want to go out on top, and so I think the Bobcats have come out this season 9-1 on their way to the 2nd round in the Division II playoffs. They play with such heart and such determination that they're going to be tough to beat as we go through the bracket.
Yeah, and Niemer's built a tremendous program down here in Vail at Cienega. Super successful. You look at his record, you look at his career overall here at Cienega. He'll be 141-48. He's got a 745 winning percentage overall in his career. Oh, at Cienega, he'll be 115-36, a 744 winning percentage. Just successful everywhere that he's been. And to have the longevity as a coach year after year, running a program the right way, no violations, no infractions, no recruiting, no disciplinary things happening against this program, it's a testament to him. So you know that he's stepping down at the end of the season as a head coach. He is assuming the principalship here at Cienega, so his leadership will certainly remain, but his stamp that he's put on this program from what he's built up from the beginning, super impressive.
Yeah, he'll always be remembered no matter where he goes, no matter what goes on in this program. Everybody's going to remember the Hassie days and the Hassie way, as I think this Cienega team will remember it.
Yep, with class, dignified, always competing. One of his mottos or mantras is nobody outworks us. And the hours, I've talked about this coaching staff in the past. Everybody on the staff, Steve Schween, Chuck McCollum, Brett Hawley, Jay Johnson, Zach Ortiz, Chuck McCollum, Niemer Hassie, looking all the way up and down of this coaching staff, which is laden. Mark Fontana on the offensive line and defensive line. These guys put in countless hours all year long. Coaching football is a year-long endeavor. They have spring training. They have summer passing league. Of course, the season itself from September through hopefully late November. It's a year-long commitment, and they've just done a tremendous job of outworking opposing coaching staffs and making sure that this team is ready to be successful on Friday nights.
Yeah, if Cienega doesn't end up winning the state title, it's not because anybody outworked them. They know that. The coaches know that. It's just been an incredible season for Cienega, no matter which way the season ends.
Yeah, in 2011, that state title game team, they weren't outworked. They weren't out-hustled. The effort wasn't greater on Scottsdale Chaparral's side. They just had massive size. They had massive defensive linemen. I think they had 8 Division I commitments. Connor Brewer, who was their quarterback, he went to Texas, then he transferred to the U of A. He's on the U of A's roster. Devontae Neal, who was a lightning-fast running back and punt and kick returner, he went to Notre Dame. And then he's playing now, starting on the U of A as a slot receiver. They had more talent than what Cienega had in that 2011 team. And we're seeing that here tonight with Cienega. They've got more talent, conversely, than what Poston Butte has. And it's not Poston Butte's lack of effort. They're just outclassed. They're outmatched.
Yep. So Cienega's going to have the ball 1st and 10 at the 50-yard line. We got just under 8 minutes left here in the game. And the Bobcats will just try to work the clock, keep the chains going, and try to get a score towards the end of this game.
Looks like Nick Ball's in there at quarterback, the junior, number 19.
Nathan Ball.
Oh, sorry, Nathan Ball.
Yeah, a lot of subs here coming in for Cienega. Got new offensive line, got new wide receivers. We've seen number 15 came in, Wyatt Nunez, slot wide receiver. So new faces for Cienega as they look to close out this game on a high note.
They like to close games out with number 34, Art Mata, a senior tailback. He likes to close things out. We've seen him in recent weeks getting some carries. He's a football encyclopedia. Member Bobcat TV, same with Wyatt Nunez. That's part of the lunch crew. Always hanging out in 742. Hopefully number 7, Wilbur Bateman, can get some minutes here tonight. But it's a good opportunity to get these guys some playing time, because I don't think they're going to have that opportunity next Friday night.
No, next Friday will be close no matter who they play, Marcos Deniza or Deer Valley. Both solid teams, and it'll be a fight next week.
Look at Jay Johnson. He's right in the middle of that defensive huddle, right? And he's still coaching, and he's still fired up, intense. He's got short sleeve shirt. It's freezing out here. It's like 65 degrees. It's not freezing, but for Tucson and Vail, you know that's cold. He's got shorts. He's pushing guys around a little bit. He's getting in their face. Look, this shutout here for them is very important. Any shutout that you can have on your ledger is impressive, and it builds confidence in this defense. And again, we're talking about sustaining momentum going into next Friday night's game. Chuck McCollum, big smile on his face there. Zach Ortiz, you can see them all in your picture. But they coach. They coach from the opening whistle to the closing buzzer here, the closing whistle.
And that's when you know a coaching staff is doing something right. They put in countless hours, as you said, and nobody cares more than they do. And you can see that there with Coach Johnson being in that huddle, fired up. He could be telling his guys to go do whatever with 7:30 left, but he's in there saying, stick to your assignments, do what you're supposed to do. And I think we're seeing that as Cienega has come out aggressive here on this series.
Nice tackle by Chris Vega going low. His older brother David was a cornerback, a 2-year transfer corner. He was part of that state title team and playoff team. And here's Chris, his younger brother, a little bit taller than David Vega, but he's very similar in how he plays the game. Very athletic, good cover guy, fearless tackler, and he's back there at the safety position right now for the Cats. The sophomore, number 1, Chris Vega.
2nd and 6 is going to be a handoff to the right side to the left side by Hatfield, and Hatfield's going to get across the 45 down to about the 41 to pick up a first down. So that looked to be like one of the Hatfield's best runs of the night, and fortunately it's coming too late as we're just under 7 minutes left in the game.
Dylan Howell on the tackle, Chris Vega on the assist. Looks like we've got Nico Abeda, number 6, out there at cornerback. Also number 45, Brandon Cross, who's a junior linebacker and corner.
Going to be a motion and handoff to the right side. Big hole over there, and he's going to go down to the 35-yard line. Number 14, Drayton Nicholson, the junior running back, 5'9", 155 on the carry, showcasing some of his speed late in the game.
Number 81, Skylar Kavanaugh, out there as well. He's a sophomore.
Run up the middle here on first down. That's going to go for a big gain down to the 21-yard line. 34, Joshua Merchant, junior running back, on the carry. He plunged ahead. He's got good size, 6'3", 205, and he's kind of a bruiser that they can put in there. So good pickup from him.
Nico Abeda, number 6, on the tackle. Junior, he's the holder on field goal attempts. Out there playing safety.
Handoff up the middle again. Stuff for no gain on the play.
Nico, another younger brother of a star, a former star for the Cats. His older brother, David Abeda, was a great safety, an intercepting safety and a big hit tackler, playmaker. So Nico, a little bit smaller in stature than his big brother David, but he plays, he's got a big heart, he's got a great football mind, and he's a great holder on field goals and extra points.
Yeah, Nico plays like he's 7 foot out there.
Yep, very poised and fearless.
Second down and 7 is going to be a run to the outside. Dragged down across the 15-yard line, down to the 14-yard line. That was Drayton Nicholson again on the carry.
Walker Forgetti, 16 on the tackle, the junior. 4:30 on the clock here, fourth quarter.
Poston Butte looking for their first score of the night. 3rd down and 3. They're going to give it to the outside to Alexander. Alexander is dragged down again, bracing himself for the hit. And Dylan Howell on the tackle.
Good call.
First and goal for the Broncos. They're going to hand it up the middle. No, Hawkins is going to keep it. He's going to pitch it out to Nicholson. Nicholson's going to be tackled at the 1-yard line. A little bit of trickery there.
Yep, nice option pitch. You see Chavez Hawkins with the speed and that last little pitch there at the end to Drayton Nicholson. So they're inching now closer to the goal line. Cats are trying their best here with their second team defense out there, trying to hold on and preserve that shutout.
Second and 2 for the Broncos. 25 Batiste in there. They're going to give it to Alexander. Alexander is going to score. Touchdown Broncos. So too little too late from Poston Butte. They were able to get the score there against the second string defense. But it's going to come too late in this ball game as Cienega has this one wrapped up.
Extra points have not been a certainty for these Broncos.
High snap as Crowden is missed. Wide right. Bad snap. Probably hurried the hold from the placeholder and kick went wide right. So 32-6 is where we stand with 2:55 left in this game. Poston Butte's only scored the game coming on this last drive, and they've had difficulty moving the ball throughout this game, and they were only able to move it, second string defense. But Cienega held strong, just wasn't able to preserve the shutout. So to recap everything that's happened tonight, we had, beginning of this game, Poston Butte got the ball to start and were picked off on a second play by Francisco Dicochea, the safety, and he followed up with the 1-yard touchdown in the first quarter, and which gave the Bobcats a 7-0 lead. And then again, late in the first quarter, Adria Alvarado had a QB sneak 1-yard run to get a 13-0 lead, and then Terrence Johnson and played a little trickery on the 2-point conversion, got this lead to 15-0. And nothing happened the second quarter. A lot of defense during the second quarter. And then when he came out in the second half, Cienega exploded with a Terrence Johnson 15-yard run, putting the Bobcats up 22-0. And then Adria Alvarado with another quarterback sneak late in the third quarter to put this game to bed at 29-0. And a 22-yard field goal by Jacob Meeker Hackett put the Bobcats up 32-0. And now after this last score by Poston Butte, we're now at 32-6. So Cienega has dominated on all sides of the ball tonight. We said at the beginning of this show that it would be one in the trenches, and certainly it was. Cienega had the more dominant defensive line as Poston Butte could not get anything going in the run game, and then Cienega manhandled the big defensive line of Poston Butte and pushed them around on the offensive side of the ball, opening up big lanes for Terrence Johnson and Dico Chea to move the ball.
Yeah, and the Bobcats' offensive line, you know, this is a larger offensive line. It's not the offensive line of years past where you have guys at 185, maybe 200 pounds. This is a size line where you're looking at guys that are 260, 270, 280, kind of across the board. You have a 300-pounder on the line, too. So this is not the typical undersized Bobcat offensive line that we've seen. This is a line that's big, they've got enough size, and they're athletic, and they're well coached. I think that's Art Mata, number 34. They like to bring him into the games to close things out.
Good for Art Mata to see some action. He's got a big heart. He loves football. And with Dico Chea and Trey Stewart Ruiz and Wyatt Dansby ahead of him in the depth chart, it's nice to see him get some action here late in the game.
Yep, fearless runner. Again, an encyclopedia of football knowledge is number 34, Art Mata the fourth, AM4.
They're going to give it to Mata. He's going to get a couple on here, pick up of 1 or 2 on the play. It'll be third down and 9 for the Bobcats. 1:54 and counting on the clock. As the clock winds down, we'd like to thank the rest of our sponsors tonight: Lieber Orthodontics, Stop and Go Driving, and Momentum Physical Therapy.
And Alec, I'm going to bail out on you. I'm going to take Hannah Simons down on the field and help her snag some players here for an interview. So we'll be in contact with you. And I'll have somebody via cell phone contact. I'll probably be in touch with Cody because I think we have one piece of equipment that's not functioning here tonight. But
all right, so fans at home, stay tuned after this game. We'll have live post-game coverage, exclusive interviews. You won't want to miss this, so stay tuned after the game.
And don't forget, next week, Alec White will be back here doing play-by-play, and we'll have R.J. Brown back doing color commentary. It looks like we're going to have Marcos Deniza next Friday night, game time here at 7 o'clock. We will bring you that game here exclusively on Bobcat TV. We'll get you a quick score update here on the game tonight. The Marcos Deniza Deer Valley game in Deer Valley. A lot of fans there are going to be going home disappointed, it looks like. 35-7, Marcos Deniza now. That's a one-sided game, so it'll be a nice rematch from 3 years ago, and that'll be next Friday night here at Cienega. The 4th seed Bobcats taking on the 12th seeded Marcos Deniza team.
So 4th down here for the Bobcats. Aragon is going to punt it away. Clock will run. We're at 1:10 and ticking down. Returner for
Testing
Poston
1 2
Butte.
3. Test. Check 1 2 3. Check check check.
Sorry about that. Returner at the 35-yard line. backpedaling, fields it at the 30-yard line. He's going to make a man miss. Oh, and he is leveled on the play. That is number 20 for the Bobcats. Quentin Gerby laid out the punishment on the returner from Poston Butte, and he's going to field that one in the morning. So good punt there by Aragon. Great coverage from Cienega, and Gerby laying out the punishment there on the Poston Butte returner. 33 seconds left in this game. Poston Butte will look probably just run the clock down here. Handoff's going to go to Alexander. He is dragged down, gang tackled by Cienega, led the charge by Walker Forgetti. That's going to bring this game to a close, as Cienega will win this by a score of 32-6. The Bobcats will host the winner of Marcos de Niza and Deer Valley next week here at Cienega High School at 7 p.m. So we'd like to see everybody out here for that. Stay tuned for the post-game report. We'll have plenty of interviews from Francisco Dicachea, maybe Derek Sommers or Austin Vaughn. Plenty of coverage that you'll enjoy. Thanks for watching this broadcast. Stay tuned for post-game coverage. They left. Oh, okay. His hand is like, check, check, check. I'm like, no, shut. I'm just like, no. No, you're not. All right, here we go.
Turn everything on. Everything is on.
Okay. Ironwood Ridge, first week of the season. 10 wins in a row. Hey, change it.
Where is it?
Take it, there we go.
Somebody find Miller. Find Miller in the crowd.
Red hat. I see him, red hat.
Red hat.
Attaboy, Kenny. All right, here we go. All right. All right, we're just about ready to set it down on the field. We've got Art Mata and Austin Vaughn waiting to do an interview. No, Derek Sommers and Austin Vaughn ready to do an interview, so stay tuned for that. I'll be coming up in just a sec. Not yet.
That's fine.
All right. Now.
Hey, he told me to. I'm taking orders. I take orders from people who are crazy.
All right, we're going to send it down to Hannah Simons for an interview. Take it away, Hannah.
How have you stepped up your game in the last couple of weeks?
We've just been practicing really hard and doing our job, and it's been working out pretty good. So
every week we go out there trying to make sure that they've never seen a team like us before. So as long as we can do that, we'll keep our heads. We'll keep this going.
Good answer. Okay. How are you guys pleased with your performance tonight?
very pleased. We did really good, offense and defense.
Sorry, that was the question.
Are you pleased with your performance tonight?
We can always do better, but this was a great performance for us tonight, and we look forward to what we can do in the future.
We also have here tonight Terrence Johnson, number 11. Are you pleased with your performance tonight?
Yes, I am. Like Derek said, we can always do better, and I'm going to try to work harder and help my team as best as I can next week.
All right. Defense, what kept you pushing through the last couple moments of the game, keeping a strong defense so the other team wouldn't score?
You know, we're trying to win state, and that's what we got to do. So.
Okay.
In the back of my head, it was just this goal to paint a brick in the locker room that said Cienega 32, Poston Butte 0. And that was the goal tonight.
All right. And Terrence, I have a question for you. Tonight you were very involved in the offense with one conversion pass and a touchdown run. Is that something we can look forward to in the next game?
Hopefully, I'm going to try to do as best as I can to help my team out. Anything.
Well, that's it for tonight. Thank you guys, and good game. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Hannah. So that's a final score for tonight. Cienega 32, Poston Butte 6. Cienega moves on to face the winner of Deer Valley and Marcos Deniza next week right here at Cienega High School, 7 o'clock. Be there. Thank you for watching tonight's broadcast. You were watching the Bobcat TV Football Network. Thanks for watching.